I just cannot believe what I'm about to say about this movie called Wicked. Welcome back to the James Alban Reviews for yet another episode. Hello, welcome back to the James Alban Reviews for yet another episode. In today's episode, you're probably thinking to yourself, did I just join the opera? Did I just join a music singing class? Well, no, you didn't do any of those 2 or 3 things I mentioned, because in today's review we're going to be diving into my thoughts on Wicked, and I just thought to myself, to improvise that fact that I was going to sing a little bit just because it's a musical we're talking about here. So just to give you a bit of context about this film, I have never seen the original stage play. However, I have actually seen The Wizard of Oz. I know of The Wizard of Oz. It's pretty iconic at this point, so I know that and how that relates and things of that nature. And if you didn't know, point of reference here, because this is a musical, I'm not somebody that is somebody that's watched so many musicals. However, with my love of indie and cinema lately, it's kind of made me realise, maybe musical elements in cinema aren't actually that horrible anymore, and I'm actually starting to find the charm and starting to find the fun in that. But let's not get too, off topic with that. And so I'll give you a bit about the plot, but not too much, because obviously this movie only just came out. I think it came out the other week there, so not been out for too long. And so what this movie actually is about, you've got this character called Elphaba, who's the main character. She's like this green character that looks kind of like a witch. And then you've got Galinda, who is played by Ariana Grande. And so you have this big, sprawling, epic adventure where these 2 characters, they kind of go on this journey together and they figure out life and figure out the truth about their world. And that is kind of all I'm going to say here, because there is a few twists and turns along the way where if I do mention that, I'll just spoil the crap out of this movie. And so what did I think about the movie Wicked? And so honestly, that I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but I actually fell in love with this movie, and I've just planned a marriage next week. No, I'm just joking, but I actually really enjoyed this movie, and I actually think that this movie came out around the same time as Gladiator 2, and it somehow is a lot better, has a lot better story, it's a lot more entertaining, in fact, and I'm going to explain why I think this movie really shines and it's really good. And that is because we're talking about a musical here, and the musical elements and the soundtrack, what is that very good? Well, I actually think I was very, very enthralled and immersed in the music, to the point where the music drew me in so much. I was like, okay, this doesn't really feel that long, because I'm enjoying these songs, I'm really getting into those songs and really having fun with that. But also, the story actually has a lot of layers, a lot of ideas and themes to this point where you actually start feeling for Elphaba and what Galinda are going through, to this pivotal point where you're just like, yeah, I absolutely am getting really interested in where this movie is going. And so there is definitely that. But I will say that the last half an hour of the film does drag it down. But even that alone, I still had that big portion where I absolutely love the movie. So soundtrack wise, the musical element is absolutely amazing here, and so yeah, it's very well paced until the last 30 minutes. And the reason why I say the last 30 minutes isn't the greatest, it's because you kind of know what you're getting yourself into here, and it just kind of got too much for me, to the point where it was like, okay, we saw what was happening, we know what's going to happen, and then it just kind of keeps going on, to this point where there's this one song that they sing about 3 or 4 times, and I'm just like, please stop, I want the movie to end. And so without spoiling, there is a point where the movie goes to the to be continued screen, and you're just like, okay, we have to see more of this. But bearing in mind with that, there is actually a part 2 coming out, so all of that's going to get explained with part 2, and so there's definitely that. And so what would I actually give this movie out of 10? Honestly, would give this movie an 8 out of 10. The pacing, a lot of the pacing could bump it up to like a 9 out of 10, but the last 30 minutes were just not the greatest. And also one other thing I forgot to mention, and a couple other things I got to mention actually, was the fact that I was really surprised by Ariana Grande's performance and her singing, because I'm not somebody that really loves Ariana Grande's music. I don't go out my way to listen to Ariana Grande kind of thing, so that blew me away. And also Jeff Goldblum, while he doesn't get the most screen time that you want, he actually does give it his all, and he really is a fun performance indeed. And so yeah, that's my review of Wicked. It's absolutely wicked to me how much I had a good time with this movie. Bye.